Hi, in this episode we're going to talk about Cyclamen. It's the beginning of the season and many growers are now transplanting their young plants into the pots. And I want to emphasize on a few basics to make your Cyclamen production a success. Substrate composition. Always look for high quality substrate. That is the basics. Because when you have some deviation in your weather, in your climate, in growing, your security is high quality substrate. It prevents you for irreversible problems like Pythium, Fusarium, Tilaviopsis, Erwinia and so on. So what is good Cyclamen substrate composition? It must have an increased air capacity, an improved drainage ability. It must promote water retention and have a pH value between 5.6 and 8. So a few examples of substrate ingredients, and I have an example here. The peat, it's from history it's the majority of the ingredients of substrate. It has good water retention and structure. You can also see here some cocoa peat, some cocoa fiber, and also pine bark is often used. But it must also have good water retention. And therefore often clay and black peat is added as well to the substrate. And to improve the air porosity, also additives are added. And here you have perlite, but also rice husk, cocoa fiber or wood fiber can be added to improve your air porosity of the substrate. So to prevent root damage. In order to prevent root damage, it's important to dibble a hole in the growing medium before planting your plugs. So we all know that Cyclamen have a bulb and it should be fit into the hole without pushing and breaking any roots. So place the bulb at the right height during transplanting. Too deep, you will have rotting issues. Too shallow, you could have drying issues. So a rule of thumb is 2/3 of the bulb below the growing medium surface and 1/3 above the growing medium. But remember, when you fill the pot, the substrate is likely to shrink a bit, so that should be also taken in account. So the rest of the crop cycle. Cyclamen, they have a long crop cycle and must often be growing in less favorable seasonal climate. So because of that, sanitation is very important. So make sure you start clean with new production. Secondly, good pest monitoring. Make sure that you act proactive instead of reactive. Irrigation management. Cyclamen are quite sensitive to overwatering, so avoid water puddles in your production because that can cause root rot and it is possible that that spreads through your whole production. And closely monitor how much and how often plants need water, and that's based on the weather circumstances but also on the day lengths. Often it's shortening. And the crop changing needs. It's different in the beginning compared to the end when plants start to flower. So also spacing pots is really important to maintain a good air movement and to minimize foliar diseases. And you can see here that the plants are not spaced out yet because they are just transplanted. But soon when plants are almost touching each other, they will be spaced out to promote airflow between the foliage. So if you follow these basics, it will be really easy to grow colorful greenhouses with beautiful Cyclamen plants, and that will be in a few months, but that is really something to look forward to. So make your Cyclamen production a success with Syngenta flowers. Quality with so much choice.